What's going on, friends? Welcome to another episode of the You Glow Nurse podcast with me, your host, Fallon Lopez. I'm so excited to bring you this special episode. Today, we're talking about purpose in serving. I'm basically going to do a recap of my recent Chicago missions trip at the Dream Center. Shout out to the Dream Center for hosting us. And shout out to Humble Park for those of you that may be listening from up north. Shout out to y'all. Chicago is beautiful. I enjoyed my time. It has like perfect weather right now. So really enjoyed my time. And as some of you may be aware of, we have been speaking on purpose this whole season. For I want to talk about purpose restored, redefining our purpose as nurses, as busy go-getters. What does it mean to redefine your purpose in a season of change, in a season of the unknown, of a season in growth? What does it mean to find your new purpose, and how to really take care of yourself, your self-care, your health, your wellness, your well-being, your mental health during that process? Because as nurses, as caregivers, we give so much of ourselves to others, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves in the process. So today is just another extension of that, talking about purpose in serving. And the great thing about it is that I can share in real time. I can share with you right now my experience of what I learned on this mission trip. So, y'all, I have a confession. And I'm just looking at my notes because I have them on my phone. So I have a confession. Look, it got real in Chicago. I ate McDonald's for the first time in years. Yes, I'm saying it now on the record. I ate McDonald's, and I did. It. I don't care. It happened. Look, it happened. I beat myself up for it at first, but it was by choice. So here's a little bit of a background. If you know me, Fallon, I am very much against fast food. That is not in my vocabulary. Fast food, if you're in my car and you ask me, like my little brother asks me, let's go over to McDonald's. No, he likes Taco Bell. Let's stop at Taco Bell. The answer is no. It is a straight up no. For anyone that knows me, that loves me, I'm against fast food. But when I was on this missions trip, I was stretched. I was put in uncomfortable places. And with only 1 hour to find food before our next ministry session, I had the choice of either not eating or trying to make the best decision with what I could at that moment. And McDonald's was the closest thing. So, P.S., McDonald's doesn't have salads, y'all. So, yes, I had a chicken nuggets special, a kids meal with apples and some fries. So yes, I did the best choice that I could in that moment. And for me, that was getting out of my comfort zone, being a little bit flexible because I know that's something that I don't eat. And I had to make that decision. And it was all for the good, all for the purpose of why I was there to serve. That was what the missions trip was all about. And I want to talk about it more tonight. Just dive in a little bit deeper, and tell you more about my experience on this missions trip, how I had to get out of my comfort zone, and the ways that I was able to do that. Because there is purpose in my sacrifice. There is purpose in the things that we sacrifice. And I want to share more about what happened in Chicago. Okay. So before we get into that, those little details, I want to share with you the Summer Reset Challenge is going live. Y'all, this has been a great challenge for us this month. Shout out to all the ladies that are joining me in the wellness community on Facebook, on Instagram. Y'all have been holding it down. My PV Nurse alumni group, that is the college that I went to, the Prairie View Nurse alumni group. We've been going strong all July long, sticking to those basic foundations, healthy nutrition, getting in our sleep, making sure we're having our water, and we're holding each other accountable. So if you want to join that challenge for the month of July, and honestly, we'll probably go longer because I need it. I need it in my life for sure. challenging you all. And I want you to come along with me in this journey to live our healthiest lives. And having this summer reset challenge has been exactly what I needed to stay on track through the busy summer months and beyond. So if you want to join us, shoot me a DM. Just say, hey, Fallon, I'm ready to join the summer reset challenge. You can find me on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm also on LinkedIn. So just send me a message and we can get started today. I'm so excited for this, for the month of July and maybe even into August. Let's see how it goes. I definitely need this reset. Okay. So make sure you go subscribe to my channel, the You Glow Nurse podcast. I'm also on the on YouTube as well. I forget about my YouTube people, but go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you get notifications when I go live like this. Today is an impromptu. I didn't really, put out my flyers of what I wanted to talk about this week, but I definitely wanted to hop on and share some support as we talk about purpose all season long, redefining our purpose, resetting our purpose, and just getting closer to what we need during those times. What is it that we need to succeed? So, like I showed earlier, I went on a missions trip last week for with my church. Shout out Braeswood Assembly, B Wood in the building. I am a busy woman. I am so passionate about many things, and I love the youth. I have a youth group there. I'm a part of a youth group that I support. And so that's teenagers. And my pastor, he asked me to join along with them. I went once before in 2018. And we went to Chicago and we did some of the same outreaches in the community. So as a church, we go together. We partner with another church in Chicago. That is the Chicago Dream Center. They already have ministries for the unsheltered, the refugees, and different communities where they do food pantries. They give away free clothes. These are all for the community. And we just go there. We serve. We show up. We partner with them. We learn a lot about serving and just giving and being the light and the hands and feet of Jesus. So we learn a lot there. Then we bring it back to Houston. And so hopefully my church will be, using some of those ministries out here. We did like a washateria outreach where we would just go love on people, pay for their load of laundry, just be like, hey, we want to just come bless you with this load of laundry. Can we pay for it for you? We'll buy your soap. We'll give you that. And even pay for your dryer fees, and then just ask if they need prayer, if they need any resources and things like that. And really, we're just showing up to serve. And so I love doing things like this. And I was really stretched out of my comfort zone. I went with a huge group of teenagers. But as a coach, as a full-time nurse, I want to stick to my healthy goals as much as I can. So this was a challenge for me. But I want to share some tips with you and some ways that you can prioritize yourself in a season of serving, because we all do it in some capacity. What does it mean to have this purpose of serving? We all do it as nurses. We are the ones that serve, that give, that sacrifice so much for others. So what I learned in this time where I was put out of my comfort zone, where I was stretched so much, I want to share with you today so that we can prevent some of those things that just drain us, that burn us out. It happens. Life happens. Nursing happens. But I feel like this trip just really showed me so many things. God revealed so many things to me, and I want to share a few of them with you and just share more about my experience with you. Like I said, this was a trip that stretched me. So what I learned and I want to share with you is a huge lesson in how to serve without burning out. So one of the things that I had to make sure that I did before I go out here to serve others in the community, to serve my pastors, to serve the youth group, because I'm there as a leader, I'm there as a role model. I really had to check my mindset daily. And that's something that I talk about on the regular, but this was a new level. This was a new way of checking into my mindset. I really had to, just think about different biases, different expectations that I might have going into this situation. I have a tight schedule. I know when I'm going to wake up. I know when I'm going to work out. I know my meals. I know when I'm going to talk to my boyfriend, to go see my family, when I'm going to pick up my dog. For this whole week, I was committed to this purpose, this mission to serve. So I didn't have all things planned out. So I really had to check my mindset. Like, what were my expectations? What were my biases? What were things that I was holding on to, my beliefs about the teens, about what the pastors should do, about the community, about the churches that we were serving? What were some things that would hold me back? What were some things that would frustrate me about serving? And the way that I went about this, and it's great because my pastor shared like a devotional, a 5-day devotional before we went to go serve. And I just loved it because during the 5 days, it was asking you different questions to prepare you. And I don't want to make this long at all. Like, I just want to get straight to it. But the devotional is where I got my inspiration, and how I continue to check my mindset throughout this missions trip. 5 days before, I was preparing myself, journaling. What are some things that would frustrate me about serving? And of course, not being in control of my time. That's huge. Not being able to sleep. Oh my God, I missed out on so much sleep during this mission trip. Not being able to have my healthy meals, those were things that would frustrate me. So I had to really, check my mindset around those. Like, why do I need to have that? How can I focus more on the serving? This is a temporary thing. How can I focus on serving? And so really just checking into my mindset when I thought about, really stretching and really leaning into my purpose of serving, my purpose of giving during this time so that I wouldn't burn out. So really letting go, releasing the need to have everything in control. I think that really helped me to just stay at peace, just trusting that God was going to work it out and releasing it. Had to do a lot of releasing every day, especially when you're working with teens. Okay. The second thing that I want to share with you about this mission trip is what I had to learn was just definitely being flexible. Being so flexible. Like, I'm the person that likes to be in control, like I said already. So I had to, just be flexible about the time that I went to sleep, because the kids, they wanted to stay up. They were excited about all the things that we were doing. And we would come in late from our different ministries that we would do. Like, if we went to go to the unsheltered locations and go give them food and all their things, their little toiletries or whatever, we would come in late. So I had to be flexible. The pastor would want to have discussions. They would want to play games, so I had to really just be flexible, which I'm not always the best at on a regular basis, because I like my me time. I like to have control. And I like to plan things out ahead of time. I'm a planner. I have a calendar. I have my to-do list. So during this time, I had to let go of some things like my sleep, my nutrition, and especially with meals, I had to be really flexible with the meals. But there were some ways that I continued to stay within my health goals. I didn't just say, oh, I'm going to be flexible and, oh, well, everything out the door as far as my health. There were a few things that I remained like my basic foundations. And that's something that I always talk about. If we have our basic foundations for our health and well-being, the fitness, the nutrition, the movement, if I have those, then I will always have my go-to, my skeleton. Like, I'll always have that foundation that I can fall onto. You have your skeleton of, like, when you're putting a project together, you build something out, you just put the main parts that are going to hold it all together. So if I have that go-to, if I have that blueprint, I can just keep that going throughout like a stressful process. If I'm experiencing a hard shift or a transition in my life, or like going on a mission trip, just having those healthy principles. And for me, it was like just making small shifts. Like, the kids, they packed sandwiches with the white bread. So for me, having white bread was just a non-negotiable. So I went ahead and communicated to my pastor, to the other leaders, this is what I need. Can I make a quick stop? And they were very flexible. And I know at sometimes we don't want to be a bother. We don't want to speak up for what we need. But for me, I needed to speak up. Like, that's one thing that I was not going to do. Like, the white bread every day, and they made stops at Taco Bell, I was not able to do that at that time. That was something that I was committed to not put into my body at that moment. Now, did it mean that I starved? No, I had to go out of my way to, okay, well, this is not what I want to have in my nutrition while I'm here, but can I go to Walmart real quick and go pick me up something? Unfortunately, quick story, the Walmart that we went to was in a small inner city Chicago neighborhood. It did not have fresh produce. So I had to think outside the box. Okay, what else can I get out of here? I ended up leaving with tuna, those little tuna packets, and then like some fruit cups with no sugar added. So I had those and some fiber, high fiber, as best as I could, wheat thins or something like that, or not wheat thins. It was this other crackers with more fiber in it. So, just trying to think ahead. It wasn't the healthiest choice, but it was better for me than chips in a sandwich every day and like they had like honey buns and things like that. I was committed to at least having those principles. And then, of course, I got some snacks. I brought my nuts, my prunes. So I would stay regular. Look, without my regular fruits and veggies, I know that was going to be messed up. So those were a few things that I did to be flexible. Okay. But yes, I'm not going to have my healthy meals all the time, but what is it that I can do instead? Can I make a stop? Speaking up for what I needed, but being flexible if they weren't able to, supply it, like the late night Taco Bell run. I just had a snack instead. I just had my little power bar or something, and then I would make time for water. It was a non-negotiable. Water was what I was drinking. And yes, I had a lot of coffee, more than usual, but I made sure to stick to my routine of water first, taking my water bottles, making that a non-negotiable. So I feel like I was being a real role model to the kids and to the leaders, like, hey, we can still stick to these healthy choices. Another thing that I had to do in order to better serve without burning out, for my purpose of serving, to really hold true to me and to what I need during this time without burning out and really having that heart of service, I need to have some healthy outlets. So when I got back, especially, I had to journal all the things that I experienced, all the things that happened during this time. I had to take time to journal, talk to my loved ones. Even during the trip, I had to be very vocal about things and having healthy outlets. If something was upsetting me, if something was heavy on my mind, because we did see a lot of things going on in the world. We even had a chance. One of the groups went out with this with women and men that were in the sex trafficking. Um, and we were trying to offer them resources, and that was really heavy. So just having some healthy resources after we see so much, after we go through so much as nurses on the regular, we are giving, we are serving, we see people at their lowest. So making sure that when I have that heart of service like that, and I'm in a place where I'm being stretched and where I'm being pulled and where I'm being challenged to grow, making sure that you have a time to decompress, whether it is with the people that you're working with your loved ones, talking to a trusted professional. Therapy is so very much helpful as well, or journaling, writing things out, even if it's a 5-10 minute journaling session, just to clear it from your head, has been so helpful for me in this journey during this time on this mission trip. And I'm continuing to use that strategy every day, as I decompress, because I literally came back not too long ago. So making sure, and another healthy outlet, of course, movement, getting back to my movement routine in a slow and steady pace. I wasn't working out for like the whole time that I was there. I wasn't on a regular workout session, but we were walking, we were cleaning, we were picking up heavy things. So I did get movement in, just not the way that I normally schedule it. So now I'm getting back into my normal routine and slowly building up to the movement that I need. So yeah, those are a few things that I wanted to share that was on my heart about the Chicago missions trip. I didn't want to make it too long, but I tend to go on, y'all, because I am so passionate and I'm here for you and I want to serve you, of course. And this podcast is definitely a healthy outlet for me, just to come on here to share and to encourage you and remind you, you're not alone. And yes, we have a big, huge heart for service, but that doesn't mean that we can't have the resources in place, the strategies in place to live the healthier, happier life that we want while giving to others. We can still prioritize ourselves without forgetting about our others and prioritizing our health. So when having the serving heart, like I said, it doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice your well-being, but by identifying what will hold you back from serving wholeheartedly, like checking your mindset, you can then create that space where you can give but not burn out. Serving is part of our purpose. And to take it to the next level, it takes some preparation to go further in your journey. So I want to ask you, what is your next level going to look like? Your next level of surface, your next level of purpose. What is that going to look like? And how will you get out of your comfort zone and make space to serve wholeheartedly? I just want to leave that right there for you so that you can think about it based off of what everything I've talked to you about. I hope that it gives you tools and strategies to help you continue on in your journey, nurse. I see you and you're doing amazing. Continue the journey. This wellness thing, y'all, it's amazing. And I'm so happy to have you along. Like I said, don't forget to join and subscribe to my channel. You can listen to the podcast on all channels, on Spotify, on Amazon, and Apple Podcasts for more. Make sure you subscribe for the next episode. We have so many amazing guests coming on, so many amazing topics. This season, we're talking all about purpose, redefine, and restoring your purpose to the next level. And what does that look like for you, nurse? All right, friends, like I said earlier as well, make sure you join the Summer Reset Challenge if you're ready to get back to your health and wellness goals and you need healthy accountability in your journey. Make sure you join me. Send me a DM on Instagram, on Facebook. You can join me there. The links will be in the show notes so you can connect with me on all my social media. And I'm here to support you so that we can show up, so that we can serve wholeheartedly without burning out and continuing to prioritize our well-being. All right, nurse, I will see you next time. Bye.